Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the face of the franchise legends for the NL East, and I'm going to give them a Chewie rating, essentially how Chewie ratings work for you guys that do not know, that haven't been watching the Chewie ratings, that came to the channel and just discovered me. Thank you first off for discovering me. You should probably hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think about the NL East face of the franchise legends cards. As well as hit the notification bell so you guys can come back whenever I upload more videos. I upload pretty much daily, sometimes 2 videos a day, trying to get out the content, trying to keep you guys informed about the cards that come out at MLB The Show 20, as well as we got some gameplay every once in a while, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Now back to the Chewie review that I was talking about. Essentially, we rate the card 1 through 5 Chewies, and by doing that, it kind of gives you that like 1 through 5 stars type of feeling of whether or not you should get the player, how good I think the player is, and then we can always have a discussion of whether or not you guys agree with the Chewie rating. This video is going to be about the NL East face of the franchise legend, so let's get in there and review these cards. John Smoltz. This is a 99 overall starting pitcher for the Braves. It's their face of the franchise legend, John Smoltz. He's right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He throws 5 pitches in his pitch repertoire, which consists of a 4-seam fastball that's going to go about 99 miles an hour, a slider that goes 87, a splitter that goes 88, a changeup that goes 82, with a curveball that goes 77 miles an hour. These are 5 amazing pitches for a starting pitcher, in my personal opinion. That fastball that can hit 99 miles an hour, then you can come back and throw a curveball that's less than 80. That's a huge change of speed, and as well as this changeup, hitting the low 80s after being able to throw a blazing fastball, on top of having the slider and splitter, is going to make this card very hard to hit. So as you guys know, I like to go over some statistics with these cards before we go over the attributes. So for this series, we're going to be going over the card statistics in real life for the time they play with the certain franchise that the face of the franchise card is made for. So in this case, John Smoltz played for the Atlanta Braves from 1998 to 2008, 20 years. In that time frame, he won the 1996 Cy Young, the 1995 World Series. He was the 1995 NLCS MVP. He was an 8-time All-Star. He was a Silver Slugger, so this guy can use the stick a little bit at pitcher. As well as 1 year in 2002, he won the Rolaids Relief. I don't know if you guys know this about John Smoltz, but he actually became a closing pitcher later on in his career. He was best known for being part of the 3-headed monster in Atlanta during the 90s with Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz himself. His career stat line looked like this with the Atlanta Braves. He had 210 wins, 147 losses, 3.26 ERA, an ERA plus of 124. If you guys don't know what ERA plus is, it's essentially adjusted for your ballpark that you're pitching in during those starts. It averages at 100 as the average pitcher. Above it is good, better than average. Below it is worse than average. He had 154 saves, 3,011 strikeouts. He had a whip of 1.176. And he had a WAR of 66.4. With this illustrious career, John Smoltz got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015. So you're talking about an absolute stud in real life. Let's see what his attributes look like. He has 117 stamina, 98 home run per 9, 103 K per 9, 88 base on balls per 9, 93 home run per 9, 115 pitching clutch, 91 control, 86 velocity, and 99 break. Let's pop in and see what his quirks are. His quirks are pressure cooker, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, control artist, grounded, cheesy, knee buckler, Mr. Splitty, illusionist. He might have all of the pitching quirks minus outlier 1 and outlier 2. He has what you need to be a great starting pitcher. I highly recommend going after this guy, to be honest. I like his windup in the 88 overall card. I pitched well with him at the beginning of the year. I'm assuming that this John Smoltz is going to have the same windup and going to be the same monster for me personally. I hope he's a monster for you guys as well. Because of his attributes, the great pitch repertoire that we already went over, I'm going to give this John Smoltz 4 Chewies. I think he's a great pitcher. I think his hits per 9 scares me a little bit at 98 for a 99 overall pitcher. If that was a little bit higher in the hundreds, I do think he'd definitely be a 4.5 or 5 Chewie type of guy here. Also, you can prestige all of these face of the franchise legend cards. So once you prestige Smoltz, he's closer towards that 4.5 Chewies compared to 4 Chewies. But for right now, he's 4 Chewies when you get him from the jump. You got to play with him a little bit to get that pretty red diamond for that prestige. AJ Burnett. So guys, what we got here is our first head scratcher. I'm not sure why AJ Burnett is the face of the franchise legend for the Miami Marlins. He did play for the team from 1999 to 2005 for 6 seasons when they were the Florida Marlins, as you can see from his super beautiful hat that's on his head. I really like that logo. I like those colors probably better than the current day Miami Marlin colors, but hey, I'm not the guy that handles HR and marketing for the Miami Marlins. This card itself is 97 overall, throws right-handed, bats right-handed, also throws 5 pitches with the pitch repertoire of a 4-seam fastball, a knuckle curve, a sinker, changeup, and slider. His 4-seam fastball is also going to go 99 miles an hour. It might touch 100 every once in a while. The knuckle curve that goes 78 miles an hour, that's a huge change of speed. And I know that knuckle curve's nasty from the gold card that Burnett has in the game. He has a sinker. The sinker is, of course, one of the most overpowered pitches in the game. He can throw it about 97. Changeup 81, slider 86. Also 2 very good pitches. That 81 mile per hour changeup is going to be something to deal with. Now, this is why this was a head scratcher for the Miami Marlins. I'm going to go over AJ Burnett's stat line here, and you guys just let me know what you think in the comments below about why is this man the Florida Miami Marlins face of the franchise card here. Win-loss record of 49-50. He had a losing record on the team. An ERA of 3.73, an ERA plus of 111, a whip of 1.284, a WAR of 12, and he struck out 753 batters in the 6 seasons he was with the Miami Marlins, or at the time they were the Florida Marlins. Let's look at his attributes. He's 113 stamina, 100 hits per 9, 109 K per 9, 66 base on balls per 9, 91 home run per 9, 99 pitching clutch, 77 control, 96 velocity, 99 break. Great attributes for a guy that really didn't play that well on the Marlins. I mean, he played great, but actually at his best years, if you go look him up on Baseball Reference, playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates when he was a little bit older. When he calmed down a little bit. He was a little bit of a fiery guy when he was younger. He got in a little bit of trouble, badmouthed some of his general managers and whatnot. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. I'm not that old. I'm only 31, but I remember it being a thing, especially in Toronto. I know in the Yankees he mouthed off a little bit too. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks: pressure cooker, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, grounded, cheesy, sinker ball or knee buckler. Once again, another starting pitcher with a lot of good quirks. I really like the workhorse on AJ Burnett, because I don't think traditionally he threw a lot of pitches in his starts. I could be wrong. I know he had some elbow issues and shoulder issues when he was a pitcher, which is probably one of the reasons he never reached his true potential. But this card's nasty. In my personal opinion, this card is just as good as the John Smoltz card, minus some control issues. I think he has better stuff than what John Smoltz has. Therefore, this AJ Burnett, with everything thought about, minus a little bit of shaky control, he's also going to get 4 Chewies here from me. I think he can be a great starting pitcher for you. When you prestige him, he becomes even a little bit better. That control becomes a little bit less of an issue. And I just really like the fact that he has the pitches that he has with pretty good attributes. So 4 Chewies is what we're going to go with AJ Burnett. Leiter. Well, boys, we got our 3rd pitcher of the NL East, and it's the last one, I promise. The next 2 guys after him are position players. But this is a 97 overall, Leiter. Another man that actually pitched for the Miami Marlins and won a World Series with them when they were the Florida Marlins in 1997. Just a fun fact. I don't think he should have been the face of franchise Marlins card either. Unfortunately, the guy that probably should have been it is like Mike Lowell or Gary Sheffield, but Sheffield already is a 99 overall. Back onto this Leiter. The 97 overall card, throws left-handed, bats left-handed. Another guy that throws 5 pitches. Do all the pitchers in the face of the franchise legends throw 5 pitches? He's going to throw a sinker, a cutter, a curveball, a slider, and a 4-seam fastball. Having a sinker as his primary could separate this Leiter from the pack. But he only throws about 95 miles an hour. He throws a cutter that's going to go about 91, 92 at its max. He throws a curveball 76. That's a nice change of pace right there. So Leiter played with quite a few teams in his career. However, he played with the New York Mets from 1998 to 2004, so 6 seasons. In that time with the New York Mets, he was considered one of the best pitchers in the National League, believe it or not. I mean, you can tell from his attributes, and he did have a pretty good career. He just could never get over the hump to win the Cy Young. I think he finished in the top 5 once or twice in his career. to win Cy Youngs in the National League or the American League. But he was always considered a top 5 to top 10 pitcher because he always got the job done. He got a lot of wins. He was a one-time All-Star in those 6 years, so it's not like he had a bunch of accolades. But his win-loss record was 95 and 67. That's pretty good. An ERA of 3.42. He had an ERA plus of 124, a whip of 1.3. He struck out 1,106 batters while he was a New York Met, and he had a 28 WAR. Let's look at his attributes here. 111 stamina, 100 hit per 9, 103 K per 9, 78 base on balls per 9, 88 home run per 9, 95 pitching clutch, 84 control, 83 velocity, and 96 break. So this Leiter has very good attributes. They line up with Burnett. They line up with Smoltz. My biggest concern with Leiter is that he doesn't throw as hard as the other two do, and he doesn't have as big of a change of pace in his pitches. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks are pressure cooker, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, grounded, sinker baller, knee buckler. So the fact that he is sinker baller with his primary being a sinker, he could be very dangerous. He is a left-handed pitcher, which makes him a little bit unique. There's not too many lefties in the game that are absolutely dominant that are starters. There's a Newhouser and Lodolo, and I can't really think of any other lefties that are absolutely dominant on the mound. The Vita Blue, that's 93 overall, is not too bad, but at this point in the game, I don't think that you're using the Vita Blue over some of the other pitching options you could have. I think this Al Leiter, with the sinker ball being his main pitch, being a lefty, having some other pitches that can be hard to hit, like the cutter and the curveball, when you mix them together with the slider, he's going to have to be a guy you have to pitch pretty well with. But for me, I'm going to give him 4 Chewies like the other two guys, because I think that their numbers all kind of line up. And I would give Leiter a little bit less of a rating if he was right-handed. But the fact that he is left-handed makes him a little bit more unique. So he's going to get 4 Chewies, and that's the bottom line because hopeful Chewbacca said so. Mike Schmidt. Well, boys, we got the career Philadelphia Philly, Mike Schmidt. He had a cannon. He probably could have pitched. Well, I'll just switch his from third base to new starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, all jokes aside, this is a 99 overall Mike Schmidt that plays third base with a secondary position of first base. He's right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. Unfortunately, we did not get the secondary of shortstop. It's unfortunate. He did play some shortstop in his career, but they didn't give it to us here. SDS, why couldn't you let me be happy and have a shortstop? It's fine. I mean, go get Ernie Banks. Maybe go pick up that Home Run Derby Cal Ripken card that we just talked about previously in the Home Run Derby pack review. I mean, that Cal Ripken's pretty nasty. But this Mike Schmidt has diamond hitting and diamond defense. Mike Schmidt's career was super illustrious. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies from 1972 to 1989. So he played for a long time on the Philadelphia Phillies. His accolades consist of 3 MVPs, 12 All-Star appearances, 6-time Silver Slugger, 10-time Gold Glove. He won the World Series MVP whenever they won it, and then he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1995. Let's see what a stat line to get you in the Hall of Fame looks like. He had a batting average of 267, 380 on-base percentage, a 908 OPS, an OPS plus of 148, OPS plus works like ERA plus. They adjust it for the ballpark, the era, and 100's the average. Below 100, you're bad. Above 100, you're good. And if you're way above 100, you're really, really good. 148's way above 100. Mike Schmidt banged it a little bit whenever he swung the bat. Also, he had a slugging of 527. He has 548 home runs in his career, 1,595 RBIs, 174 stolen bases. I know that's not many, but he did steal a little bit. He has 2,234 hits and a WAR of 106.9. So this Mike Schmidt had a great career, a Hall of Fame career. Let's look at his attributes. 87 contact versus righties, 108 contact versus lefty with 106 power versus righty, 122 power versus lefty. You're facing a left-handed pitcher of Mike Schmidt, you're gonna have a good time. 81 vision, 125 discipline, 109 clutch. He has 95 fielding, 95 arm strength, 94 arm accuracy, 91 reaction with 62 speed, 45 stealing, and 40 base running aggressiveness. So this Mike Schmidt, obviously, like all his cards do, he absolutely mashes lefties. For his contact versus righties, 87, that's disappointing, especially with the 81 vision. Quick look at his quirks. Quirks are hitting machine, bomber, walker, soft hands, quick reflexes, cannon, sniper, pressure cooker, unbreakable. So he has the hitting machine, bomber, and walker, the big three batting quirks. For defense, dude, his defense is nasty. Soft hands, quick reflexes, cannon, sniper. He's going to be a vacuum cleaner at third base. And if you want to play him at first base, he's going to get everything over there too. You put him on the corners, you get yourself a Dyson, baby. So anyway, I mean, that's just what it's going to be. He's going to be nasty in the field. You look at his fielding attributes, he is definitely a gold glove type of guy. I'm really looking to add this card to my gold glove team that I'm making. As you guys know, that's a theme team I play with sometimes and upload videos on the channel in ranked seasons. Mike Schmidt's going to be a starter on that one at third base or first base for sure. He has a swing that can be a little bit hard to get used to, so that's going to dock him a little bit. And the fact that he has 87 contact first righty and 81 vision hurts him a little bit. Another guy in the NL East that's going to pick up 4 Chewies. We've gone over 4 cards. We've handed out 4 Chewies per card. And, I mean, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but maybe the last guy won't get 4 Chewies. I don't know. You're going to have to keep watching to find out. Mike Schmidt gets 4 Chewies. Great defensively. A lot of power at third base. I just feel like that 87 contact versus righty and 81 vision really hurts the card, especially at higher level. On top of his swing that's like not the easiest swing. It's a swing you have to get used to, so early on you might struggle with it. Andre Dawson. So, Andre Dawson's a face of the franchise card for the Washington Nationals. Even though he never played for the Nationals, he played for their organization when they were the Montreal Expos. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the Expos moved down to DC in the 2000s. So that left us with only one Canadian baseball organization, the Toronto Blue Jays, after the Expos left. This Andre Dawson is a 99 overall center fielder with the secondaries of left field and right field. He is right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He has diamond hitting and diamond defense. This Andre Dawson played for the Montreal Expos from 1976 to 1986, where he earned the nickname the Hawk because he flagged down fly balls like it was nobody's business. While with the Montreal Expos, Andre the Hawk Dawson won 6 Gold Gloves, 3 Silver Sluggers, 3 All-Star appearances, and was the 1976 Rookie of the Year. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2010, but that was in combination with his time with the Montreal Expos and his time with the Chicago Cubs. He actually won MVP with the Chicago Cubs in 1987, the year after he left the Expos. While he was an Expo, he batted .280, had an on-base percentage of .326, a slugging of .476, an OPS of .802, an OPS plus of .122. He had 1,575 hits, 225 home runs, 838 RBIs, 253 stolen bases, and a WAR of 48.4. Now, those numbers were probably the best in his career. He did have some seasons where he hit a little bit better with the Cubs, such as his MVP season. So some of his hitting statistics were a little bit better with the Cubs, but he did pretty much the same thing he did with the Expos as he did with the Cubs, hence why he got in the Hall of Fame in 2010. A lot of people think he was a better defender with the Expos over the Cubs. I don't have a problem with the face of the franchise for the Nationals being this Andre Dawson. I would say probably the only other 2 options that I'd be okay with, maybe 3 options might be like Moises Alou, Pedro Martinez, and Vlad Guerrero. I think with Dawson, he played there a little bit longer, so he's a very good option for the face of the franchise card, especially since the Nationals don't really have anybody that was a great player that played with them that has since been retired. I mean, they've had guys like Strasburg or Bryce Harper that have had ridiculous years or pretty good careers on the team, but they're still active players, so they can't be a legend. Let's look at the attributes for this Andre Dawson. It's 102 contact versus righty, 108 contact versus lefty, 84 power versus righty, 96 power versus lefty, 101 vision, 72 discipline, 95 clutch. In the field, he has 93 fielding, 97 arm strength, 88 arm accuracy, 86 reaction, 85 speed, 84 stealing, and 89 base running aggressiveness. So this Dawson does have a very glitchy swing, so you're going to get a lot more line drives and home runs than I think his attributes show. But his attributes really are not that impressive for an outfielder when there's so many other outfielders in the game, especially for one that's at 99 overall. I'm not sure if he's worth that 99 overall rating compared to some of the other guys like the Larry Walker that just came out in the 5th inning bosses, or just some other outfielders I've seen in the game so far. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks: hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, soft hands, quick reflexes, cannon, sniper, speedster, thief, pressure cooker, unbreakable. So the soft hands, quick reflexes, In Speedster, definitely are 3 quirks you would get if you got the nickname the Hawk. Those ones just make sense. The Cannon and Sniper means he's going to have a very strong arm. He also has Hitting Machine and Bomber, which are 2 of the 3 big quirks for me hitting. But he does have 20/20 vision, which means he'll be kind of hard to strike out. Overall, this Andre Dawson to me is just not that impressive as an outfielder. I think there's probably better outfielders in the Stage 3 Team Affinities, let alone in the game, period. Therefore, this Andre Dawson, even with the glitchy swing, is only getting 3 Chewies from me. Look, guys, we broke this spell of 4 Chewies. Andre Dawson gets 3 Chewies, and I think he's a very good card. And if you're a Nationals fan or a fan of the Expos growing up, by all means, go pick up this Andre Dawson. I think he could help your team. I'd kind of like to see him in right field because he does have a cannon, and he does seem to have some decent range out there with his quirks and his speed and his reaction. But I just think there's better cards in the outfield right now in the game, so he's going to get 3 Chewies from me. Alright, boys, that wraps up the NL East Face of the Franchise Legends review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you agree with the Chewie ratings or disagree with their Chewie ratings. You guys have a great day and be safe.